In the corner.
Open up, right. Oh, yes.
It's live. It's live. Oh. I've run out of Jaffas already. Look at this. Never even made it to going live.
Right, so where's my... Oh, I nearly swore then. Channel. Videos. There we go. Oh, let's just mute that. Mute. Okie dokie. Right then, let's just put you down there, or there, or there. Right, who have we got in? Welcome everybody. We have. In fact, if I go over to YouTube, I can just go into participants and it'll tell me there, won't it?
So Jay's in, David's in, Dan's in, Stace is in, Nick's in. I think I saw Jeff.
Yep, Jeff's in.
I think that's everybody. Obviously, I'm in, and you're in, and Claire's in.
Right.
And Mike's in.
What's that? What's they are? Oh God, Claire.
Sorry, I'm just at Fat Club. Like, do you think I could join, Claire? I mean, seriously, do you think they'd let me in? Kind of thing. What with my racing snake physique, kind of thing. I reckon I should be there, not you.
So got my dad. My dad's in. You're in, Dale.
Yep, I'm here. I was in twice. I was in logged in as my normal Gmail, not Maple Tree, briefly.
Oh, I've just seen your messages backstage. Right.
Father Ted, yes.
I'm going to turn that projector off because I can't really see it from here. How do I do it then? How do I do that? Oh, there you go. Oh, there's a remote. There's a remote somewhere. Here we are. I could use the pointer though.
Could do. You can see it flashing on the camera.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But
Yep.
not burn people's eyes
Beep, beep,
out.
beep, 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 beep.
Right. So power.
Who else have we got?
Oh, there we go. It's going off. It's doing its thing.
Ew.
Right.
Handy.
I know we've got a good one of these at Scouts that we use, and the one day one of the chaps says, "Oh, can you put that away?" And so I just pulled all the plugs out, put it in the box. I didn't realize it was red hot. I didn't even realize that it had to be powered down because there's a bulb in there, isn't there? So yeah,
Yeah.
I learned my lesson.
Boom.
Right, Andy's in. Right, so what is it? It's 2 minutes past. Shall we get to what we're going to be doing tonight?
I believe.
So I don't know if anyone has ever come across DIY Jace. You have, Dale, yeah?
Yeah.
So when I went over to his house, which isn't far from here, I think it's Ringwood or something like that, he gave me an absolute ton of this Australian burl. It is really nice stuff, and it's really dry. He makes river tables, so there's a lot of it. You know, I've got loads of it. But this particular pieces, these two pieces, are quite plain. So I thought I would make a couple of little bowls tonight, just little shallow bowls, nothing special. If we get round to doing two, we'll get two done. If not, we'll just do the one. I don't know if there's anyone else that wants to come in and chat. I'll if you fancy it, just let me know in the comments and I'll send you an invite.
Come on, it's lonely in this little corner. Come in.
Because what I'll do is I'll mute my mic.
I'll have to talk to myself again.
Yeah, but yeah. Did you record it, Andy? What's that? Good news.
Andy being Andy.
Oh, how did you get on today, Andy? You didn't
He's had
punch anyone.
he's had a discussion with someone.
Oh, so he's not punched anyone's lights out then.
It sounds like he's had a discussion.
Yeah.
Mr. Wayne the Turner is in. Mr. Wayne.
Hello, Wayne. How you doing? Anyone want to come in? I feel like one of those weird, those. Oh, what they're like, when you flick the sky over late at night and you get these weird winning.
Oh mate, where are you going with this?
They got a phone like this, don't they?
Oh, okay.
Like
no,
this.
I've no idea. Redmond. I don't have Sky. I don't have Sky.
They're like this. They look really bored.
Don't have Sky, mate. No idea what you're talking about at all, kind of thing. The only weird thing I see at night is invariably I hang out with you idiots.
Yeah.
All right. SW Creations is in. Chris Walker's in. Doug's
in. Oh. Okay. Here we go. We got Mr. Page in at some time. It's going to be quite a simple one tonight. Nothing special. Oh, more importantly, did everyone see the funky blade?
You got to show them.
It's in the house.
Oh.
That thing, I swear I've put 1.5 inches on my biceps sanding that thing for nearly 2 weeks. I mean,
it's quite worrying.
I bought one of these pads, but the average go on it and all that sort of stuff. But it's literally, it was murder. Right, here it's Jeff, Andy Wayne.
Mike is asking the bill hook.
Is that what it's called? A bill hook?
Yeah.
Is it? What's it for then?
It's for cutting off bills.
Bills as in like birds' bills?
Yeah.
I thought it was some coppicing kind of thing. I don't know. Who's that there?
Here's Nathan in.
Nathan, how you doing, mate? We'll get to Jake.
Hi, Chris.
I'll kick it off. Chris Walker is in as well.
You know, with these glasses on and this shirt, I feel like I should be giving people legal advice.
Yeah.
You know. Health and safety inspector. Either that or I should offer people my hi. Would you like a loan? Yes. Mm-hmm. We have a tremendous interest. Tremendous interest. Yes. You want to borrow how much? £1 million? No. How will you pay this money back? Which kidney do you think is worth that?
You sound like him out of. You sound like Mr. What's his name out of the Simpsons?
Yes, I'm trying very hard to sound a little like Mr. Burns.
That's it, yeah.
Mr. Burns. I need to do the thing with the hands. Okay, doke. So who do we have then? So usual suspects. Dan says he'll have some money. No problem, Dan. It will be an old £1 coin. Is that okay? It must be worth some money to someone, at least from scrap perspective. I can offer you a low cost bottle opener for bottle opener blanks. I've managed to pick up 10 of these. Extremely good condition. For a grand total of £9.
That's good.
10 of them.
We got Sarah.
Yep, Sarah's in.
Sarah's not been very well recently, so I spoke to her other half this morning. Was it more this morning, or was it early hours, or was it yesterday? They kind of mold into one after I've chatted to you lot on a night.
Well, I saw daylight today. I'm feeling quite pleased with myself. Yeah. I mean, I went to work in daylight and I came home in daylight. Well, I left the office in daylight. I feel the summer. I can feel the beckoning of spring coming our way. Dan reckons he's too early. He's got man flu.
Right.
As long as it is only man flu and it's not something more severe or troublesome. There's a little bit of it around. You know, a little bit of around. Is Mr. Page joining us?
Well, that's what I'm waiting for before I mute my mic and crack on and just let everyone know what I'm going to do first, and then. Hang on a second.
Sarah says, "I'm a bit better now, folk."
Good. That's good to hear.
Stace says she's back now. She's filled in her nails. Stace, you're going to have to explain that one.
She's obviously filled the tops of her nails in where they've grown down with resin.
Huh?
Yeah. When you put fake nails on, your nails grow, but the fake nail grows with the nail, so you end up with a little gap.
How do you know this?
Because I studied doing nails because Cheryl wanted someone to do her nails, and I thought, well, I can do that for you. Save her going and paying and going out the house. And
can you do a side profile for a minute? Can you turn your head to the side? Right. Tell me what you've just told me again. I want to see if your nose gets longer.
After I studied loads and loads of videos on YouTube to do gel nails.
Dear no, you see, this is an entire subject I know nothing about.
Yeah,
absolutely nothing. CDA Woodturn, a bit of sea igloo, she'll be fine.
And a bit of activator.
There's young Emmett in the chat.
Emmett, how you doing, mate? Where's JP? Come on, JP.
They need doing before a few popped off and need a new set. Face palm. Well, Liam Packer's in.
Oh, Liam.
I think you should kick off, mate.
Shall we do it? Okay. Yeah. You'll have to give me a shout.
If he messages, I'll give you a bellow.
Okay then. Yeah. Right. Let's just tell everyone what we're going to be up to. Let's just change that to there. So this, like I just said, if you've just
Jen's in. She's giving you a super chat.
Who else?
Jen. It's all gone quiet, said Rhubarb.
I can't see it.
Too quiet, said Custard. Or is it the other way around? It's all gone quiet, said Custard. Too quiet, said Rhubarb.
Thanks, Jen. Thanks very much. Yeah. So this DIY Jace gave me a load of this burl. It's Australian burl. It is really nice. So I'm going to quickly make a couple. Well, I'm going to make at least one, but I'd like to make a couple of little shallow bowls. Nothing special. I just want to... This has been sitting up there for ages because he gave me loads of it. I just want to use it and see what turns out. If I don't get around to doing this one tonight, I will put it in resin. That's what I'll do. And I'll do a resin bowl with it. Right then.
Emmett reckons he's having a Jaffa cake.
Nice. I'm going to mute this, Dale. I can still hear you.
Okay, mate.
Let me know when JP's... you can't see if he's backstage.
So he's on his way and he's starting his laptop, he says.
Oh, okay. Right.
Okay. Cars, Captain Cars. Scourge of the Middlesbrough bypass. How are you, sir?
Where's my mask gone?
Greg Dag is in. Hey, crap. It's only 1:15 here in Canada. Nice looking woody.
In Canada?
Canada. 1:15 in the afternoon, though, he means.
Right. Has he seen the huge Canadian flag I've got on my wall behind me that was sent?
Canadian. I've got a maple in my type. So I've got some affinity for the part of the world.
There's a huge one up there. Look.
Yeah. I should really do a big Maple Leaf Studios flag.
You should.
Guess I need to make it.
You should.
Quite funny. Do it in the Canadian colours.
Hold on tight. We'll get there in the end.
Oh, you need more webcams.
I do, yeah. I've only got one. I gave the other one to Andy because he didn't have one.
Indeed.
Right then. Okay. So I bought.
Or you can have the CCTV system. I'm retiring.
Well, that would work, wouldn't it?
It definitely would.
Cool.
Definitely would. Its replacement is I've finally got it working on Sunday. Remember, anyway, it doesn't matter. Conversation for another time. Craig Dagg, the good old red and white with goofy maple leaf.
I've got a new visor.
Go on then. Is there a unicorn horn on it? Is there a unicorn horn on it though? Dun, 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 dun. Tippy tappy. Hornless. Chris Walker says Sarah's still not used her new lace yet. Cause upgraded, not upgrading. All done. That would be an entire conversation all to itself. How would I describe? It's a completely different conversation than I've had before. You know. So I think Nick, the Flaming Turner, I showed him it when I bought it a couple of weeks back. It's a GeoVision GV-VS 2820 8-channeled HD H.264 video server, which basically takes all those lovely high def analog cams and tons of many IP cams. Where's Shez tonight? I think Shez isn't feeling well, Liam. She's in her bed, I think. Dead Rice Woodcraft, let everyone join in. I want to try out my new microphone. Talk amongst themselves. Emmett's still here. Awkward silence. Oh, nice. Come on, cuz. Why are you tired, mate? That's looking interesting. Do you want to come in, cuz? Do you want to... this StreamYard is really slow. I'm going to have to go and look at YouTube. What's going on? Greg Dagg says, hard to believe it used to take months to say hi back and forth. Now just a couple of seconds. Hardly any delay. And picture and sound are awesome. Okay. Rich, Cuz can jump in if you want to send him a link. I don't know if you've got Emmett on yours too. He can drop in too. But, you know, I don't know what the story is, who's got who and what's got what. I know we're keeping a spot for young Mr. Page, who's in from adventures today.
Okay, I'm on it. Emmett, if you just check your
Facebook Messenger.
Facebook. That's what I'm looking for.
It's fine. That's what I'm here for. You're outsourcing your memories. I can do that. JP went to visit an old barn today. I thought it was a comedy festival, but you know, there we are.
Who else was it, Dale?
Captain Cuz. But make sure you have a look at him before he comes in. If he's not wearing a hat, don't let him in.
Okay. Uh, hmm. um, right. Just click the link, Emmett. Right, I'm going to mute this. I've sent Emmett and Cuz and who else?
JP.
JP.
Splendid. Come on, you lot. Hurry up. Get your clothes on.
Hello.
Here we go here. Oh, good lord, he doesn't have a hat on. What's the world coming to? I don't know. The state of some folks wanes. Look at that. Look, I'm trying to be like you now. I've got glasses on and everything. I'm like, try to look intelligent.
Trying.
No, I mean I've got to go. I've got to go with the trying. There's no way I'm going to pull that one off, really, am I? Anyway, so yes, you're tired. Why are you tired?
It's just it feels like it's been one of those days where not a tremendous amount happens, and you just at the end of it you're like, ugh. Got some news as well about someone jumping in, using my pictures on Facebook, so I need to sort that out as well.
What? Someone's impersonating you? I mean, surely that's like the highest form of flattery, right?
It's not impersonation. It's something a little bit more personal than that.
What is it like? Is it? I mean, is it pictures? I mean, is it like is it parts of you rather than?
No. I'm not that interesting. It's just someone who I would rather doesn't. I haven't blocked on Facebook and all the rest of it, and they've still managed to get access to my pictures as well as my brother's pictures.
Male or female?
Female.
It's female. I mean, so we're getting into some juice here. So is this like hell hath no fury like a woman scorned?
No, not quite. It's my biological mother who I don't speak to.
Okay.
So she's every now and again.
Still valid. No.
Yeah.
The hell hath no fury. Oh, he's gone.
What happened?
Something I said.
No, I don't know what happened there.
She's hacking you. She's hacking you. She's hacked your machine. This is a message to you.
I literally have no idea what's going on. It just keeps jumping in and out. Unless Richard's booting me.
We need to respond to the chat. Doug, it's called football, mate. The hint is that they use their feet.
Yeah, football.
They use their feet. It's football. It's not rugby with helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, JP.
Enemies page.
How you doing?
So you've come back. You've paid tribute. You've been there. You've caressed the turf. You've molested the goalposts. Where were you?
I was at White Hart Lane.
Did you enjoy yourself?
Does it?
Yes, it was incredible.
I must confess, I don't feel the connection to football that you do. But was it one of those sort of days? Hallowed ground.
Yes, without a shadow of a doubt. It's definitely surprising some of the facts that they've got about the ground. I'll throw one out there for a few music fans. So they actually used the sound engineers from U2 and Bruce Springsteen for the audio of the environment to keep the old.
Get it right. To get the thing.
So in our tour group. There was about 30 of us, and we all basically screamed to the top of our lungs, and it reverberated all the way around the stadium.
Awesome. Full
Right,
effect.
that's how they get that fake atmosphere at Tottenham.
Not fake atmosphere. It's how they get.
Basically, yeah.
Even you, I mean, you may, yeah, I mean, you're in dangerous group. But I think an important point went by. Jay says it's soccer. Football is Australian AFL. Look it up. Looks nothing like the round ball. Ooh.
Ooh. Yeah.
Although we, our club does have a very good relationship with the NFL. So they showed us the
NFL or
cheerleaders' locker rooms. And,
Oh, that's the NFL. This is AFL, Australian Football League.
Aussie rules. Yeah,
Aussie
that's a weird one. Can never.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's really easy.
Hand
It's really easy. You've got to get the ball between the legs of the Barbie. That's what you've got. You got to get the ball between the legs of the Barbie.
I've never watched it, to be honest. It's just anytime it's been on, it's never really appealed. So it's kind of
no NFL. Stop swearing. Yeah, NFL. To stop swearing. So I mean, if it's NFL, and I might be showing my ignorance here, but the Bears were my adopted team when I lived in the States. They're only recently kind of returning to form. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not sure I was ever really supporting them when they were doing well. To be fair,
Chicago, is that the Chicago Bears?
Chicago Bears, yeah.
I think the team I've always kind of adopted is the Oakland Raiders, but it was just because my uncles had an Oakland Raiders hat at the time.
Is that because you can't sit still, just like them?
Yeah.
They're always moving about.
Yeah. No, like I say, it's just my uncles had the hat, and it was always something that I was like, oh, I wonder who this team is, and then that's how I came across them. That's how I came across the NFL generally, but I don't follow it at all. I couldn't tell you who won the Super Bowl or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, is Emmett?
Oh, Mister, I don't know what I'm talking about NFL. Steelers all the way.
You can keep that Steelers crap to yourself, boy. That's just where we're going. That's where we're going.
Oh, I've got a towel. Did I happen to mention it's terrible?
Yeah. Steelers towel, is it? Oh, look at this. I'm getting ducked in the top corner here.
You've got the largest collection of terrible towels in the US or something, can you, Emmett?
Yes.
Jay's got a good point there. Only cricket is a good watch. I'll give him that.
No, it's not. Yeah. What is this? What is this cricket of what you speak? I mean, what the heck's cricket?
Silly boys rounders.
I mean, is it like I thought it was like a fashion parade for jumper wearers. I mean, is that not what's going on?
Hey, cricket's brilliant.
Like a load of sheep running around the field.
If I do this, I can pretend I'm the duck talking.
Let's pretend we're in Nintendo. Let's pretend we're in Nintendo. He's going to be the dog that just goes like that.
Yeah. What was that game on Nintendo called?
Duck Hunt.
It was wasn't a Nintendo 64, was it? It was the NES.
NES.
Oh, was the first one, wasn't it?
NES.
Yeah.
The NES.
NES, yeah.
The NES.
Well, there was a console before, but the NES is the one that everybody knows.
Was there? I thought.
Oh, yeah. Yes,
okay. What was the console before it?
It was another Nintendo console. I think it wasn't the. So there was the what later became known as the Famicom and the Super Famicom.
Oh,
but there was one in Japan. There was a precursor to the NES, which had kind of all the moving parts and very crap cartridges. Its particular name was just a number, and I absolutely forget because I never had one. I only know this because of the man who does Retro Man Cave. He's awesome. He covered it. He's really good.
Yeah, I was at a bar the other week and they had the.
Hold on, they let you in a bar? How damn?
They had the SNES in there with Street Fighter 2. So my friend and I decided to have a few rounds. It was reminiscent, shall we say? It was good.
You've got to admire Doug's view of the world. If I could, I mean, at the age of this mattered, if he couldn't drive it, shoot it, or interact with it in a very, very specific way, he wasn't interested.
I've got that gaming thing opening up. And when was it, Dale? Do you remember?
I don't remember,
Margate?
but I've threatened to come down for it it's in February, right?
I think you're right.
Margate. It's February, the retro gaming thing. Yeah, totally got to come down for
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Totally got to come down for that.
We'll have to look at that. Look that back up.
That'd be a laugh. That'd be a laugh. Go and spend stupid money on T-shirts for things. That's what I'll do. If we don't have a big, if we didn't have a league, the Big Bash or IPL though, hey, you have to explain yourself.
Jay was asking about the 2020. So in Australia they have the Big Bash League, and in India they have the Indian Premier League in cricket. They're 2020 games. Much more excited. Very short form games.
Yeah.
So, Reg, can you move the heads, please, to the other side of the screen, so the big one's somewhere else? I'm sure there's.
I don't think you can.
Under it. You not put us under it?
I don't think you can, mate.
Nah, we're just going to find them, mate. Just keep us here. I'll just hide behind this. I feel I'm winning. I can turn my camera off and it'll just be a voice in the background. Look at that. No one would notice. Look. You're awfully quiet, Emmett. What's going on? Where's these Jaffa cakes?
I'm just washing.
Where's this Jaffa cakes you've been threatening? Come on. Where are they?
I already ate them.
Where's the box? Show us the box.
It's £7 or £7. It's $7 a box. I can't buy too many.
Are you trying to learn how to turn without a pen manual?
Yeah, I had a bowl explode Saturday.
So I did as well, actually. Actually, not on Saturday. But yeah, I had a big chunk of wood come off, flying off the lathe.
Mine blew off in both directions.
That's what she says.
No. And you say I'm the one who lost the tone?
I never said you lowered the tone.
Dale, you've been very unprofessional.
You ensured it stayed there. That was like the lower. You just ensured it stayed there.
Yeah.
Dale, you've been very unprofessional.
I'm very unprofessional. I do my very best to be unprofessional.
Wayne of the Big Feet has joined the chat as well.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Stace has also joined in.
Who? Stace has been here a while.
Stace.
Oh,
Stace has been here a while. She was the second person in after Jay.
Yeah, I was in late.
You weren't here. You weren't paying attention. Fess up.
Yeah, well, I'm going back to work next week, so I'll be missing all lives Monday to Friday.
What does work look like for you, sir?
It's working PPI complaints on an evening from 3 till 10:30.
Ouch.
So
what did you do wrong? You got a special bracelet around your ankle to have to do that job.
Yeah. Well, it lines up with college, so it's.
Well, that's all that matters, really, isn't it? Yeah. It allows you to keep going on what's really important.
Yeah, that's it.
Money in the bank to buy tools.
School to have that job.
What's that?
You don't even have to leave school to have that job.
No, you don't. I mean, there was a kid there who was 16 years old. She literally just left school and started straight away, and then left a few weeks later. But yeah, it just depends on company insurances and stuff as to whether or not they'll employ people. But they need
MITRE bond, Rich?
It's what? Sorry.
Is that MITRE bond?
No. Yes. MITRE Fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing, isn't it?
Well, it's ACA glue, and it's got some other stuff in it too.
Yeah.
Well, I'd rather use the Gorilla Glue, but they don't do activator. I have
Don't any old activator work on Gorilla Glue.
It does, but this stuff it comes as a 2-part thing. You know, it's
It comes in a
Oh,
packet.
gotcha,
It's designed for you pick it up in places like Screwfix and that, Jamie. They kind of
Yeah,
they're selling it to the
yeah.
woodworking crowd. The chippies.
Yeah.
You
So I
know.
used to get, I can't remember what it's called. It's a red and white bottle or tin, should I
Yeah.
say. Can't think what it's called.
So just
that
out there in the chat, we've got Clive's out in the chat.
Hi,
We've got
Thrifty.
and Thrifty V.
Thrifty. How you doing,
Hi,
mate?
Thrifty.
Obviously, the aforementioned Wayne of the Big Feeties. And if there's big feeties around, there's obviously little feeties Val hiding
Yeah.
around somewhere too.
Hi, Val. Got to say hi earlier.
That's a bit cracky. Is it still wet, mate?
No, it's bone dry. No, it's this has been drying for years and years and years. But I'm not going to go over all this bird's eye type looking stuff. I just want to get these main cracks sealed. I'm not too worried about them, but I want it looking nice so I can get a nice finish on it.
So we've had a few people with things coming off in the lathe recently. Are you gonna go for the hat trick here?
No, I just want to be able to put a nice finish on it, and if it's got cracks, then I can't use any sanding abrasives or anything like that because it's just going to fill it up and look ridiculous. You know. But that's the only reason why I'm doing it. But I can have this bowl done in about bloody half an hour. I want to make it last a little bit longer than that.
I was waiting for Dale to say that's what she said then.
I thought I'd let you do it. You know, I mean, I can't monopolize it. I've got to let other people have a crack, you know? Yes, you can. You just blow it out afterwards, says Wayne Woodturner.
But I like the idea of having it so it's a little bit more stabilized. I don't think it's going to matter anyway. It'll hold together. But
You've got your mask on, right?
what? While I'm doing this?
Yeah.
No.
When you're turning, I mean.
Oh, I've got this. Yeah, I've got the mask on. Definitely.
Yeah.
It's here. Look.
Because it might just go for a wee. It just has that kind of look of you getting a crack, or is it going to go?
Oh, I'll tell you what. I don't turn anything without a mask on. I've come too close to losing cheekbones and things.
Teeths.
And yeah. But there you go.
I remember one of my first experiences was I was using the EasyWood tools, and just by chance I caught the edge of the bowspin and it sprung back into the mask, left a lovely big hole in the mask.
Oh yeah.
The face was intact, but the mask, you think, oh, this is a smart. This is a great thing. These masks, you know. I mean, whose idea was this? They should be commended.
A few weeks back, there was a picture on some of the groups of an angle grinder disc going through a set of safety glasses.
Oh, fake that is.
Is that fake?
Yeah, it's fake. I've seen it. That's years old. That is.
Yeah. I was going to say it might be fake, but it illustrates the point because they do cause damage when they fly off.
I've seen where am I? I've seen a video, a health and safety video at work, where there's a guy. He takes his guard off his grinder, but it's not the normal small grinder. It's the big one.
Right.
And the blade breaks and hits him in the side of the head there.
Ooh.
It literally takes most of that to about 2 inches deep.
Yeah.
He survived, but most of that side of his face is gone.
It's because when the blade's spinning at that speed, it heats up so quick that as soon as it cuts you, the wound cauterizes straight away because of the heat.
Oh, this didn't cauterize.
Did it not?
No.
Slowing down at that point.
It literally it hinged his face.
Ooh.
Let's get back to it.
Yeah.
So I cringe when I see anyone using even the small grinders without a guard on it. I can't do it.
That's why the Arbortech stuff worries the heck out of me. I mean, you just look at that and you think that thing is going to try and kill me.
Yeah, all the
Yeah.
tools in here are trying to kill you.
You
In
know,
my shop, anyway.
trying to kill you. The table saw kind of growls a lot, but it's fundamentally trying to kill you. But the power planer, my power planer is the one that I just think is a bit like a python. It's just going to wait till you're lying down one day and it's going to kill you. JP Woodwork has put a unicorn sticker in the chat. Very kind of you, JP.
I know.
Ramsdale Sherman says the turbo plane blade by the Arbortech is feckin' awesome. It looks feckin' awesome, but also looks feckin' scary. That looks like one wrong swing of the arm and you're shaving off all your leg or other parts of your anatomy. Cause me even be able to use it to shave.
The ball playing by Arbortech's good, but it ain't no good for shaving.
No. Cleaning your teeth. No?
I'll do that. Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to do something, and yeah. In terms of shaving, mine's literally a case of beard trimmer, and then with the razor, done.
I use hair clippers. That's it.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Mike, Midnight Joker saying if you get kicked back off a cat Lancelot, it's pretty scary. I'm not sure what a cat Lancelot is.
I think with all power tools and machine tools, you've got to just remember they are designed to cut material, shape material. That is a lot tougher
designed
than
to kill you.
being.
Every other option is just
designed
to kill you. Everything else you can do with them too. Oh wow, yeah, that's one of those chainsaw discs.
By that.
Yeah.
No, is it from Albania or not Albania? Where are they from? It's basically a chainsaw blade, but for an angle grinder, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Damn, that thing looks pretty scary. Colin Bennett, when Richard quite young, I cut my fingers off with a pencil. The guard spring snapped and took for my... Did so? Someone's fingers get cut off? Colin, did your fingers get cut off? It's the same as the Arbortech, says Wayne. Comes to the Lancelot. Nathan, treat all machines with respect. Never fear. You won't have any problems generally. No, I think a healthy amount. I think I've got to go with the basic idea that some of them you've got to treat with a certain amount of fear.
But that's
fine.
So it is. I'll ask you guys the same question that we brought up on the podcast one day, right? With the tools like the saw stop, right? Do you think that it's made people not care so
100%.
much about
100%.
when they approach using the saw?
100%.
Yeah. I think it's twofold. One is that new people coming into it who only use the more advanced machines like the saw stop, when they go to an old Wadkin table saw, for example, they are going to be a lot more out of their depth. Whereas someone going from an old Wadkin to a saw stop, they aren't going to have that. But as they get more used to it, they'll start to get complacent as well, because it can happen. I've started doing that with the center lathe at college. I can get complacent with it, and then it's like, oh wait, actually, this thing can kill me.
Can I see how many fingers you've got?
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah.
All my fingers.
So far,
yeah.
So, Emmett, what do you think?
I'm afraid of all of them.
I think that to a certain degree, I think that's the best way to be.
I can hurt myself with a toothbrush.
Not necessarily be too afraid, but just be generally cautious.
But I think that's the respect element of it.
Yeah.
If you respect the tool, that's what you're going to be. You're going to be cautious. When you're too afraid to use it, then it's pointless having it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doug, you're absolutely right. It's a specific type of table saw that has I don't think it's an electronic blade. I think it's part mechanical. Axe abrasive paste. Did I see the? I'm not sure. Wayne of the Big Feeties, are you doing your own paste too now? Colin Bennett, I had them put back on with pins in my fingers when very night, and I picked them up off the floor and gave them to me in the hospital. Haha. I was like, do your fingers work now though, Colin? Are they still usable? Wayne of the Big Feeties says, I am wary of all the machines and I'm only frightened of Valerie.
That's a good way to be.
Possibly sage advice there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Dave McLaren says it doesn't like chainsaw. Dave, I've got to come down, and for me it depends on the chainsaw. I've got the one I've got is really difficult to manage to hurt yourself with. Still possible. Not only food safe wax, Dale. Paul Barnes says, yeah, it throws a chunk of aluminium into the blade when it senses meat, I think. That's what she said. No. Larry LC says, sorry, mate.
You have to get a new saw stop system when that happens, don't you?
Yeah,
you have to get a new brake. Yeah.
Right.
Larry says, Sherman, the saw stop is a table saw that if it detects flesh, it retracts back into the table and hits a blade stop. Nathan says, tell you what does scare me is how most Americans have the table saw set with a writhing knife. There's no writhing knife installed. It's so insanely dangerous. Wow, you should see my table saw. The thing, if we are going to talk about Americans and table saws, though, it's the Dado disc set where there's like 4 or 5 discs all mounted on the wheel at the same time to cut carve out big things. Those things look dangerous.
I took an angle grinder and cut my writhing knife off.
I mean, mine's is gone. My writhing knife is gone on mine. But you can unbolt it on the Rage for just that purpose. It lets me use the top of it like a table most of the time.
I don't have a table saw, so
I don't have one either. That's one tool that scares the hell out of me.
Yeah.
It's got to be the power planer. That's the one. That's the one. I can actually envision it ripping the skin from my leg. Nathan, you can't really put a sled on with a writhing knife in place. So if you want to do small material cuts, the writhing knife kind of gets in the way a little bit. You can't slide the sled back and forward, and you can't quite get it into place. That was my experience of why I took the writhing knife. Whenever I'm using sleds to actually do the cut, that's when I see it. The important safety tip, though, is even if the blade's still spinning, turn the handle and wind the blade into the machine. That way you get some level of safety. But yeah, so normally I would use my saw with Dale, try a wobble saw and a spindle molder. Woo! You just trim the back to below the top of the blade. Not quite. It just wouldn't fit. Want to show you. First time I see you on a live, I'll show you. You can't quite get the small item sled in place. Mine was bolted on and it's somewhere in the box with the kickback blades. Says Doug. But yeah, I don't have a writhing knife on mine.
My writhing knife was riding a little bit too high for the higher over the blade, and I wanted to put a rabbit in a piece of wood, and I couldn't find the screw to take away the zero clearance on the saw, and I was losing my temper by that point. So I just took an angle grinder to it and took this and took it off, and then as soon as I done that, I found the screw.
Fucking hell. It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah, that's usually the way. I can leave that.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said earlier, as long as you've got a healthy caution around them when you're using them, then even with some of the safety features like the riving knife taken off, you can operate them safely. It's just if you're around other people, you've got to be careful when they're using it as well. But if it's your own private workshop, then have at it. It's you're responsible for your own safety. If you think you're safe on there, then great.
Are you just enjoying seeing how far those little cloths can fly, Richard?
I just
Every
noticed
minute I see
that.
one go.
Yeah.
I just noticed that.
Things.
Speaking of dangerous lathes,
So I don't find the lathe is one of the tools in the workshop I don't find particularly scary. I find the skew to be slightly troublesome.
yeah,
I find it to be one of those things that mishandled you get in a lot of trouble with. But most of what I do in the lathe I think is quite safe. There's the healthy things to do is make sure putting the tool rest in the right place and standing to the side when you're spinning up for the first time and all those sensible things, and keeping your ears open when you're cutting, listening for the woods changing sound and all that kind of stuff.
yeah.
Lathe doesn't frighten me so much.
Yeah.
You know?
Have someone there to catch a bowl in case it comes off.
That helps. That helps, kind of thing. That helps.
Subtle hint there.
You know.
Where's
Yeah,
Emmett? Emmett's gone.
Yeah, Emmett's gone. Yeah, I mean everything you've just said there is very similar for the center lathes for the metal lathes as well. You listen, as long as you're paying attention to it, they're very safe machines to use. It's when you stop paying attention that's when you'll get dragged into the chuck and be crushed to death.
Mm-hmm.
On that,
Yeah. So on the latest piece that I done when I was wet turning,
yeah,
and I had that great big chunk of wet wood come flying off the lathe at 1800 RPMs,
yeah,
and shoot across my small workshop. I automatically I heard I could hear the jaws making a weird noise.
yeah,
So I started pulling the tool out, and as I pulled the tool out, because it was making a weird noise, it just shot off. And
Yeah.
what happened was the wood basically tore itself away from the tenon, and the tenon was stuck inside of the jaws.
Yeah.
Larry reckons long hair is bad around lathes. Richard,
How about long beards?
how do you feel about long beards, Larry?
But I mean, I've seen things before where people have made their own wire burners, for example, for putting details in, spindle work and all that sort of stuff. And all they've done is they've just got a piece of guitar wire, wrapped it around their fingers, and use it like that.
Yeah.
And I've just private messaged them and said, right, stop that right now, right? Go and put a proper handle on that, because if that catches, it's going to rip your hand right off.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. A couple of bits of wood either end, ready to get ripped out of your hands. That's what you're after.
Yeah.
Did see somebody using some yesterday at East Surrey wood turners. He was using some armor cable.
Ooh.
To do the burning, and that just looked awesome. The effect was really good, really quick.
Yeah.
Normally they're copper, but this is obviously the steel.
Yeah.
Stainless, I think it is. I don't remember what it is.
I think they're just standard armor cable's just standard steel, isn't it?
I think so. Wayne the woodturner says he's not getting his cut. Beard or hair, Wayne?
Yeah.
I tell you
Wayne
what,
of the big booties. That shouldn't take too long, Doug.
I tell you what, I don't like to see on lathe people when they're turning is using wire wool. Oh, it makes me cringe.
Why?
Well, if it gets stuck, it gets snagged in there, and you're holding it and it traps your finger, it's going to cut your finger off.
I don't know, because wire wool will deteriorate pretty rapidly. It's not going to.
Doesn't matter.
It all depends what coarse wire wool you've got.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I suppose.
Some of
it's just like a cloth. It's like a. Think about how they make string.
Yeah.
Loads and loads of real thin fibers.
Yeah.
But they're not. But some of them may be 20 meters long. You know, that gets caught around and your finger's gone if your finger's there.
I can explain it. It's like an Amazon. It's one of the blue and white Amazon bags, which has got that little rippy edge on it. And if you pull that rippy edge at the right speed, you know what I mean, in the right place, it'll open up just lovely. However, if you try to open that white and blue Amazon bag at any other point, or try to open it quickly, or try to do it in a hurry, it ain't opening for love nor money. It'll just stand there and go, no, I'm having none of this. And the wire wheel's just like that.
It makes for cringe. If you use it and you've got away with it, then that's fair enough. But I personally, I don't like it. I don't like to see it.
Yeah.
I would give a thumbs down over it. Don't put it that way, but but I don't like it.
Speaking of thumbs, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Got 32 in the chat, 20 likes. So it's
perhaps I don't like it. Is that ever occurred to you?
You don't
well,
have
if they don't like it, they can watch it. Simple. No one's forcing them.
They're waiting to decide. They're watching a bit more before they decide.
Yeah.
They're waiting for it to fly off, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's what they're going for. And then we'll get diving scores, 9.8, 9.4.
Yeah, there you go.
Jamie's watch got Jamie's phone got 9.9 and diving scores under the mop bucket the other video.
Yeah, didn't it, Chuck?
Oh, well executed double backflip there from the iPhone.
Yeah. It got a 10 when it was put in slow motion.
Why would we hit the like button? Says Doug. Listen, my chest is closer to the lathe than my head is. Yes, there's a point. Larry, how do we feel about chest hair?
As long as
Wait
you
on the
keep
big
it
PTs. My brother lost his finger in a drill press when the lecturer switched it on when he were changing the gears that were 40 years ago, and he still frightened him.
Jesus.
A man to be in a good place. In some respects, to be in a good place, not to be concerned by machinery.
Yeah.
Frightened is possibly, like I say, there's some tools I pick up where I'm just using them and thinking I am very, very, very alarmed. But table saw is just trying to kill you, and once you understand that it's trying to kill you, you can kind of live with it. But there's the tools that you just know that you're going to forget one day. Like I say, and for me, it's the planer. The planer is the one I just know I'm going to forget one day, and I'm going to hurt myself with it.
See, I think that with the welding machines, like some of the welding stuff at college, I think one of these days I'm going to go to weld something. I'm going to forget to put my welding mask on and end up blind.
Well, I thought you were going to electrocute yourself. That's where you were going to go there.
It would be a bit hard to electrocute myself with the welding gauntlets on, but it's I can see myself not putting the mask down. So
Kim Tippin, I think, sums up my view quite well. She says, "Table saws eat souls." It's I concur. While I might not necessarily compare them quite to the fallen one himself, I certainly am of the belief that it's trying to eat my soul.
Yeah. Yeah. And what have you? Which table saw do you actually have?
I've got a Rage 5S.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a big orange. Black thing. Awesome. For the price you pay for it, it is absolutely indestructible. Like I say, we killed the first lumberjack table saw. 100% killed it, slaughtered it, stone dead. The Rage satellite then went on to do 3 years worth of heavy graft, and it's still going strong to this day. New blade, obviously, but it's definitely the weapon of choice. I think you've got one of the Rages, JP, don't you?
Yes, I have the Fury, the green one.
The green one.
Yeah, the green one. Yeah.
The Evolution stuff gets really good reviews generally.
I've got loads of Evolution as well. I've got 3 Evolution things, and if I was going to buy some of the tools I've got again, I'd consider. I've got the 5S, which is my table saw. I've got the Rage 2, which is the chop saw, which is a 14-inch chop saw.
Yeah.
And then I've got the electric skill saw, which is again 14-inch. That's for
Yeah.
stoke cutting. Great tools. Great tools. Not
Yeah.
genuinely not hunting for a sponsorship. I've already bought everything they could possibly give me. Genuinely just like them. Their motors are horrendously powerful, and you'll feel them coming on in your workshop. You'll see the lights have an appropriate level of dimming or dropping out. Just there's no subtlety to the motors, but they're exactly what they say they're awesome.
Yeah, they for the price that you pay for them, they do seem to be great value for money and capable of doing the vast majority of what you want to do. Obviously, if you're wanting to do like fine furniture cabinet making
Change
stuff,
the blade. Just change the blade.
change the blade. Well,
Change
the fence
blade,
might
use
be
a
a little
sled.
bit liquid.
Change the blade. Use a sled. Awesome.
Yeah. Well, there's solutions around it. It's
No, I would use a sled in every table saw. Absolutely, every table saw. I suspect Nathan's the guy to talk to about tables. What he was saying earlier on, I think he'd probably be the guy to dig into in that. But for me, it would be for all the work I've done building cabinets and benches and stuff like that, and kitchen furniture. I would use a sled and a blade suitable for the job. Wayne reckons. Sorry, I missed that there. Wayne says he has a StartRite 5-function machine.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about that when we met at the Harrogate show. Sounds like a beast of a machine.
Everything in Wayne's workshop's a beast of a machine. He doesn't show you half of the stuff that's in there.
Yeah.
Clive says, I
Even
think
Wayne.
even Wayne, that only shows you half of Wayne. I think wood turning is scary. I think in my head that the cutter will snag and smash me in the face with the tool end. It's almost certain to happen at some point, Sneaks. That's why we need to wear masks. Wayne of the Big Feeties says, years ago, Ramsdale. Dave McLaren says, I had the same one as Joe, just upgraded to a Charnwood. Sneak says, I feel safer with my router and table saw. Now, routers, there's a thing that's a machine that while it's in the hand router down the way, I think it's all right. Put it in a router table and you just look at that and you think, I'm going to lose my fingertips to this one day. One day you're going to take my fingertips.
I would have thought putting the router in a table would make it safer than having it in your hand. But yeah, because when you put it under the table, you end up with the possibility of tear out and
you're feeding over the top of it.
Yeah,
I just have this vision of I'm going to forget one day.
forget,
you know what I was saying about forget what I'm doing with my fingers, and just, you know what I mean? Or even if you're using a guide or something to push it through, I reckon I just I'm going to forget. What else have we got in there? Young Doug says I've got a Jet Contractor Series 52-inch fence.
That sounds like
sounds huge, Doug. You need to show that in another video. Wayne says, Nathan, I've used a spindle molder on it. Larry says, I've always liked the Delta table saws. Cheers, GP, says Mr. Wayne. Nathan says, now that is a machine you really need to know what you're doing with, but have got safer with the newer regulations. Some of the old cutter that you found are scary, though. I'd run them, but only fully guarded. Mike says, don't you push blocks? So yes, so what I mean is absolutely I use appropriate push blocks, Mike, when I'm using the thing. But I just have this vision I'm going to forget something one day, or I'm going to get cocky and I'll do something stupid with it. So it's one of those front and center on the brain every time I'm using it. That's kind of where I'm at.
It's probably a good place to be, though.
It's just. I mean, I only really make frames with it. I'm only really doing rebates for frames. Doug says I had a cabinet shop once. Deal. Okay, cool. Nathan, I used it a couple of times and it was fully guarded. Larry says I use shapers for making shapers for making cabinet doors. One had no fence on it. Billy's in the chat. Howdy, late again.
Hi, Billy.
Jay says, hello, Billy. Emmett says, sorry, guys, boss called. Boss being either the wife or the person you work for.
Yeah.
I believe.
Wayne of the Big Feeties. Nathan, we used to use a spindle molder planer and that was 20-foot long plus end tables. But I need to get this. Actually, I can't do Wayne's accent. I'm really sorry, Wayne, but I'm going to try and get this. But that was 30 years ago. All solid brass wheels and handle. Beautiful machine.
Sounds it.
Various hellos. Nathan says that sounds like fence work, Larry. So how deep are you making this, Richard?
That's it. That's the thing of it going. Found it now. Sounds nice.
It sounds a little,
The bottom is really, really hard, but the sides, they're about 7 mil.
There's a fair bit of crack in there. Are you going to stabilize that?
Well,
Stabilize long term. Glue it up.
I've glued the back side of. I might do that now, actually.
Jeopardize. We'll go for jeopardy, shall we?
Yeah.
What do we reckon? You think those cracks are going to open up, folks, and there's bits of it are going to fly off when he's sanding, or what? Because the sanding will heat that up quite a bit.
Yeah, probably will.
Doug says you sound thick. Sorry, I read that wrong. He says it sounds thick.
It is thick there. In the centre, but I've got this. See this dip here? This is what's caused the issue. This is why it's so thick in the centre, because that's quite a deep. Can you make that out on camera? You see that?
Yeah, it's quite deep.
That's quite deep. If I go any further, I'm going to take the centre of that out from the inside, and it's literally about there. I marked it with the head earlier on, so I knew kind of where it it would be, and it is about there. So I think that's all right. I'm happy with that. I'm going to sand it now. I will put some glue in there though.
Have you done your homework, young cuz?
My homework?
Have you done your homework, young cuz?
So get homework. It's just stuff I want to do and stuff I learn about. So this was my prototype 3D printing sleeve for the those fittings that you
helped me get.
Yeah. So because they were hexagonal fittings and they're going to go into a round bearing.
Oh,
ooh, is that the end? Is that an Ender 3 as well, JP?
Yeah.
That's the same machine they've got over at the Hackspace. So I started learning how to use it, and I'm like, right, what else can I 3D print now? It's quite a nice.
How long before you do it, Willie?
I'm part of a. Funny you say that. As part of one of the things I'm part of a 3D printing group chat, and they share a lot of pictures. And someone printed a phallus that was part of, with legs of a dinosaur.
Language, young cuz, language. Swear, Bob.
I think they call it a Pinotaurus.
In fairness, if you've got a 3D printer and you know how to use the software to design stuff, you're gonna do it, aren't you?
Well, it's inevitable in human life. Sooner or later, someone can, they will.
Yeah, exactly. So
I'm sure Ann Summers have a line in downloadable 3D patterns for famous people. If they don't, you should do. I know the IT director there. Are you listening, Colin? You're missing out on a trick.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Famous, yeah.
Although,
famous faces.
How many people would actually be willing to subjugate themselves to that?
I reckon there'd be plenty.
What, celebrities who'd be?
Yeah. I reckon there'd be plenty. But just there'd be lots of the 3D printing equivalent of Photoshop. Photoshop.
Yeah.
I Pink Prozac, the Dickosaurus. I've been looking for that STL for that.
It'll be on
Yeah.
Thingiverse, I'd imagine.
You know what I'm talking about? Probably, maybe, yeah. It might be under a different name though.
Yeah,
They might have taken it off.
The Winkyosaurus.
yeah.
Ramsdale says, sorry, Nathan says, yes, Larry, that was my first experience of ring-bearing molder work in the early 2000s. Since found out they were actually technically illegal since the mid-70s. That was all I knew, so I was happy to use the lads. Dead Rice says, Richard, you can't put it back in. And Jen's come away with, and all plaudits where it's appropriate is, that's what she said.
Yeah. Look what you started, Dale. Look what you
It
started.
wasn't me. I picked it up from someone else. I'm merely imitating. Honest.
Definitely didn't.
I picked it up from other people. I definitely got it from somewhere else. I don't know where. I'm a good boy.
Yeah. So you keep telling everyone.
Yeah. Sooner or later, you'll all believe it.
Yeah.
What else we got in the chat? Mike says, did you restore them yourself, Nathan? The Dickosaurus. I feel that Billy is. Jamie's up to no good. He's looking down at his phone.
I'm replying to my messages.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Cuzzy's head on a Dickosaurus.
Oh, that'd be priceless.
I'm sure someone's done far worse.
Well, it could be that's why your biological mother's trying to acquire images of you. Maybe she's trying to put your face on a Dickosaurus.
Yeah, voodoo doll.
Prozac, Pink Prozac says a girl on Etsy is selling them printed cheaply. Might just buy one from her. Just not sure where I'll put it. I mean, it's just there. Oh dear. Come on, Jen. Jen, that one's a sitting duck, mate. You've got to get in there.
Oh dear.
Dear, oh dear. You know, quite literally, that's what she said.
Yeah.
Is your room on fire, or are you smoking?
What's
Or
that?
vaping?
No, smoking, vaping.
Oh, okay. I think Richard has views on people smoking. Okay, where I would display it. I'm not sure that's a huge improvement, Pink.
Yeah.
Is that axe or sanding sealer?
Think. Oh, it's
More like a hammer.
So, Wayne of the Big Feet is saying that he's got a 60-year-old drill press, and
Good.
has-
I approve of
I had a
recycling.
drill press once, and it was about a year old, and it all seized up.
nightmare.
So it went in the bin.
Yeah. Midnight Joker saying he
Midnight.
restored Medding's drill press. Now they're nice drill presses. I'd love to have it.
Jamie, you could have done a resto video on it if you kept it.
Nobody got time for that.
Wayne of the Big Feeties work was throwing in the skip at midnight.
Oh, it's amazing what places will throw out. I think half of the hack space in Middlesbrough is literally just discarded old tools that companies no longer wanted. And
I never. I feel it's like books and tools are the two things I feel guilty about throwing out.
yeah,
Even to some extent, artwork doesn't matter how crap the artwork is. You know, somebody's put energy and effort into it. It just feels wrong. So I might throw it out.
yeah, original artwork. I think it's always worth keeping.
Even printed, it just looks. There's something very unsettling seeing a picture. You know, I mean, slightly hanging out its frame beside a road somewhere. It just doesn't look like it's supposed to be. Even if it's,
Yeah,
you know, some tired old 70s cliche. It still doesn't look right.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But people throw stuff out all the time. I mean, my big record Vice that I have and restored. Our next door neighbour was going to throw that in the. He was going to throw it in the bin.
Jimmy's falling asleep. Colin Bennett reckons Jimmy's fell asleep.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I nearly threw the old Vice out until I actually looked at it and thought, I can restore that. But it was in the boot. It was in the footwell of the car, ready to go to the scrap metal place, and didn't. It was only because I took a second guess and thought, oh, is it worth keeping that? And turned out, yeah, it bloody well was. So
Belly says it's looking nice, Richard. Oh, hello. The camera's gone.
back again.
Hello. We cannot hear you. There he is.
Yeah, it's looking good.
Yeah, it's done.
Yep. So I think we've also got to take up on Doug's comment there. If he's looking down, he's up to no good. I think there's an accusation being levelled at you there, Jamie. With I must confess, I fully support. When you're looking down, you're up to no good.
I got to agree.
You know. Should we be able to see what you're doing?
Just blowing all the polish and restore out the hole. Okay.
Excuse me. Claire's back. Did you get thrown out, Claire?
Hi, Claire.
Is that a sheet of perspex there, Richard? Protect the laptop. Windswept and interesting. Look at this. Like a long-haired dog in a boat kind of thing, you know? Car window down, ears flapping in the wind. That's what's going on there. Oh, I think his compressor must still be on.
Yeah.
Compressor. Yes. Compressor.
Right.
We can't hear you. I can't lip read.
we can make a bad attempt.
It's gone. It's gone off now. There you go. So there's the first one.
Yeah.
Turned out really nice, actually. And sanding this, it reminded me of my childhood years in the hay barns. Because
you might want to stop this entire train of explanation about what you got up to in hay barns.
What do kids usually get up to in hay barns?
It depends what age of kids we're talking about. We'll just stop there, shall we?
I tell you what, the only issue with this bowl and that lathe is it can't go in reverse because it's lovely and smooth until you go back against the grain that way. And then can you hear
Can I have to get rid of that?
Can you
get rid of that?
Go on in.
You can use sanding sealer and that stiffens up the grain, or you can get a power drill like I showed you last time.
Yeah.
And drill while it's spinning.
Yeah, I could do that, I suppose. But the problem is my little things. Where are they? Well, this is the small one, but I've got the set of 3, and I can't keep the pads on them. As soon as I put them on the thing that's spinning, the pad just comes off. It's just.
Can you not make your own with? Get yourself a strip of.
Yeah.
I forgot what it's called.
Velcro.
Yeah, and just Velcro
Yeah.
and just make your own.
Yeah.
I've got
yeah.
a bag full of them you can have.
What Velcro?
No,
Thing.
the things you fit on the drill. What I don't have is the pads that sits between them. Because you've got the Velcro back one that are hard, and then you've got ones you put as a pad. So then there's a Velcro pad that goes on the outside of it. You can buy them in bags, but I don't have any of them. I've only got the hard part.
Oh, right, yeah.
Don't say that's what she said, because
I wasn't going to.
Emmett's already said it.
I was tempted.
Oh, right. What was I going to say? Yes. So I'm going to chuck another one on. What is it? 20 past. Yeah, that's right. I just want to show you these that I've been working on. This is that tool that I showed you guys the other night in the hangout. Where are we? Where's the camera? There's the camera. There you go. Right. So yeah, so this is a bead cutting bit that goes.
Mm.
Can we say Richard's got his balls out on camera? Can we say that? Is that okay? Do you think he'll be all right with that?
Yeah,
They're
fine.
marbles.
Yeah. So there's loads of different. It goes right up to 22 mil. That's a 22 mil. These are all scraps of GPS Kerinite and stuff. But look at that. It's mad. I just love them. Anyway.
Mm.
But instead of throwing the scraps out, you just you keep them and just spend an hour a day just knocking these out. That's lovely, that one is. Anyway, thought I'd share that with you.
Mm.
So, let's have a look at this. Oh, God. Where is it? There it is. So what's going on in the chat then? Who have we got in? Oh, we've got Ian, we've got Dad, David, Pink Prozac, Wayne, Dead Rise, Billy. It's very quiet. What are you lot up to? I know what JP's doing. He's probably photoshopping someone.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to find the original person of the Dickosaurus for Pink Prozac.
Really, and not to put Cuz's head on it at all.
We know you too well.
He's up to no good.
Always
I mean, the Marauders map. The Marauders map was invented for JP.
Right, where's my? Where is it? There you are.
Hi, Pat. Hey, Matthew wants you to stop caressing your balls, Rich.
What so the world can see.
Colin is asking you to turn your mic up because he can't hear you.
Make an egg, Rich.
Huh?
Make an egg.
An egg with this?
No.
I don't think I've got the stuff to make an egg.
Apparently, Pink says that you're her knight and so you're her knight in shining armor.
Who is?
Yes.
Me? Why?
Yeah. Obviously, you're manhandling your balls on camera. Obviously. Karenite ones at that, are they not? Or are they polyester?
He wears a cape.
Does he?
Yeah.
Jeff Christie says, saw that the other day, Jay. Hole cutter and a drill press over a lathe. Very interesting.
This is going to be. It's not exactly. It's round. but I'm going to lose most of this. Yeah, I think. We'll chuck it on, see what happens.
Patrick says, I'll try to make a video for you all. I don't really know how, but my daughter does. Cool, Pat. Look forward to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
brilliant. Definitely. My dad's got a lathe now as well, so
Does he? Colin has a lathe.
Nice.
Cool.
I'll be going up and giving him a few pointers.
You're going to
Do
do
you
an
need me to come up
invasion.
and catch the bolt?
You're going to do an invasion of your dad's workshop. Is that what we're hearing?
I could do, couldn't I? You up for that,
Yeah.
Dad? A beard
Do
invade.
you need me to come and catch the bolt, Colin? Whereabouts is he? We should all go and invade it.
He's in Tamworth. Yeah, to be a day out. Have a day out invading my dad.
Steady on.
Tamworth's near Nottingham, isn't it?
It's not far from Nottingham.
Yeah.
It's it's northeast Birmingham. It's closer to Huey over in Coventry, I think.
Okay.
Off the M42.
Right. I just remember always seeing signs for it when I lived in Nottingham. So
That was the answer to everything. You know, that road, the M42.
Yeah. I hate it because it's the surface of it it's white to start with, and it's really coarse. You know, it's like driving on gravel that's been glued down. You know what I mean? For 50 miles. So,
yeah, I know what you mean. There's a stretch of road like that on the A19 near where I live towards Newcastle, and for I think a good 3 miles, it's just if your tires are just like grrr throughout.
Well, my new car, you can't really hear it that much, but the old car that I had, it deafened you. You know.
Yeah.
Larry reckons we should do the beard gets invaded.
It's already done that. Didn't JP catch the ball?
No, I mean properly do a make him tell us about his workshop.
Yeah.
And Pink Prozac says, I've been to Nottingham once, the Sherwood Forest and the castle to see jousting. I still have the scar on my leg. I'm not sure if she's winding us up. Were you jousting?
Yeah.
Did Robin sweep in from some other angle, and did he sweep you up in a Maid Marian-esque rescue attempt? Wayne of the Big PTs, yes, it's really painful for Valerie in the concrete roads. I can imagine, Wayne. Clive says it's all been redone, Rich, a few years ago now. Pink says, no, she was a spectator 7 years ago. She tripped on something in the castle and split her leg open. Oh, I like my version of the story better.
Yeah.
I'm just going to ignore your sensible, normal, human answer and go with my slightly outlandish and definitely more interesting version. So did you hear that Pink Prozac was swept up by Robin Hood in Sherwood Forest? Cuz?
What's
and
that?
a sort of princess in a Maid Marian type rescue. That's what I heard. I mean, it might have read she fell on her bum and hurt her leg, but really what happened was she's just trying to play it cool.
Yeah. 4 years I lived in Nottingham and I never went to the castle or to Sherwood Forest.
Really?
Yeah, but I didn't really have time or money. I was a student and at law school, so.
But you definitely had time if you're a student. No? Oh.
No.
Clive says, so Pat would have a heart attack. You guys have a good day. It's nice to hang out with you all. Pat would have a heart attack. Chris Walker says 49 miles from Nottingham.
Yeah.
Clive says the M42 is smooth, nice and smooth, and the answer to everything. Patrick says the kids are getting too loud. Handmade by Sarah. My old lathe, Billy. I had a new one. Chris, M42 is a mixture of concrete and tarmac. That explains why it's white.
Pink Prozac messaged me on Facebook. I've got the STL. Actually, I've got the zip file for you. You'll have to create the STL.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
There should be kind of the Dragnet theme from there on in, really, shouldn't it? No way. How do I find you on Facebook?
I am Jamie Page on Facebook.
Hi, Steve.
Hi, Steve.
Kaz reckons he's a bit tired. Jamie's up to no good. I'm trying to look intelligent. And meantime, Pink is currently looking for a way to print a Phallosaurus. Doug is offering advice. Nathan's talking about table saws. Rich is doing some turning. We're talking about the M42, which we think is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. I think that's about it, really. We talked a lot about lathes and molding machines briefly. That's how we are. Yeah, I missed something out.
No.
Oh, this is Richard's second bowl.
Yeah, that as well. the main part of the show.
Yep.
Actually, Stephen's restoring a table saw at the moment as well, isn't he? He's doing a series on his channel.
Excuse me. Been a long day.
Yeah, you have an excuse. You work.
Not sure about that. Definitely turn up.
Hey, as long as you turn up and you get paid, that's all that matters, right?
We're just started the process to hire 12 new staff.
Okay.
Met a lot of lovely, bright and shiny faces, all looking for a job.
Have you just added me on Facebook, Pink? I just want to make sure that that's you.
Well, I have it in my eyes then, so it's probably not me. Handmade by Sarah. Yes, on the mend now, but for a few weeks still before I'm well enough. Wayne of the Big Feeties, have you got room on your dance floor, Billy, for a Coronet Herald? Coroner Herald. Okay. I think that's a mistake, but that's quite funny. Dance floors and coroners. Dale, give me a job, please. One where I can work from home. Only 2 days a week, mate. It depends if you're any good. Are you any good at Python and Angular? And if you are, then send me a CV and the job. One of those jobs is yours.
Yeah, I don't even know what Python and Angular even are.
Okay.
Guessing coding languages.
No. One's a snake, and the other one's a description.
Yeah.
There's no way you were getting out of that with the right answer.
No.
Who else have we got in here? Well makes everything. Hi, Well. How's it going, folks? Largely, I think it's going pretty well.
Yeah. Certainly picked up.
Doug is offering advice to Claire. Fake it till you make it, Claire. Don't know yet, David. I may be doing a premiere tomorrow evening. Cool. Look out for that. Remember, 8 p.m. Wayne will be doing his live, folks.
Yeah.
From the secret cave of Wayne the Woodturner, live at 8 p.m.
Claire's saying she knows TikTok.
Isn't that a robot from Ulysses 31?
I don't know. I don't even know what TikTok is. I just keep seeing it, seeing stuff about it. It seems to be getting popular.
It's a place where you shoot short videos. It is quite popular,
Yeah.
but it's also kind of jailbait as well, if I'm honest.
Jailbait.
2 seconds.
Yeah, it is a place where older men can get in a lot of trouble, and vice versa.
Well, hello, Cuz is off to look.
No, because there's no items. Go to bed.
Steve says it's for the youngs people. I think he may be right there.
Yeah, very much.
Sorry about that. Someone at the door. Yeah.
Many me for many you.
Yeah.
of thing.
Mini me.
Has she got a beard yet?
I think if she had a beard, I'd be a little bit worried.
What's wrong with beards?
Nothing. When my 9-year-old sister rocks up with one, I think anyone would be worried.
Oh, you mean on her face?
Where else is a beard gonna be?
Oh, you might invite a bearded boyfriend in.
At 9 years old?
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 19.
No.
No. Well, if you brought a bearded boyfriend home at 9, I wouldn't be worried. I'd be running him through with a butter knife.
Well, to be fair, I've made this promise that the first, if she ever decides to have a boyfriend, his head's being cut off, put on a spike as a warning to others.
I could just imagine that scene from the Bad Boys.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
You know what? I've got a nearly 20-year-old daughter, and you can only scare so many off. I've been there. I've done it.
Yeah. Well, my uncle's daughter's.
Eventually, you like one, right, Rich? There's just one, and amongst them all, you kind of go, "Yeah, he's all right."
I'd rather bring a girl home, to be honest, than an horrible boy. But she won't have none of it. I keep saying, it's okay, Shani, if you bring a girl home. But she's like, "No, hey, Dad, get it through your head."
Oh my God. Yeah. See, I reckon you and Andy should do the bad boy scene for the next guy.
Is that the one about their voices are too deep?
Yeah, in Bad Boys 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my uncles are definitely doing that for his daughter, without a shadow of a doubt. And if they're not going to do it, me and my brothers will, because overprotective big brothers. What are we for?
So Pink says, "I don't know. My dad still never liked him, and I've brought home." Steve says, "I always show my daughter's boys friends the gun cabinet on their first visit." Wayne of the Big Feet, he said, "I worked with a bloke who wanted to borrow my large work boots to put next to the fireplace so that our new boyfriend thought they were for a massive bloke."
See, just do what Andy had in his old workshop, where he had like the Viking axe and shield.
He's got a bat'leth up against the wall, doesn't he? I mean, he's not really changed.
My dad refused to let my sister's first boyfriend into the house until he took his Arsenal jacket off. Bear in mind it was raining outside.
It's Kim says her dad told her husband, "No returns or refunds."
Yeah. Funnily enough, that's what my sister-in-law's sister said to my little brother when he got married last year. She's yours now. We're not taking her back. My oldest cousin gets married this year in October. Her fiance is the same age as me. I've kind of already.
Where's he from? Middlesbrough?
Yeah, well, he's from Stockton, which is up the road. And they met.
So he sounds right. Is what you're saying. He sounds right, kind of thing. He sounds like he get away with a little bit, but it's just a little different.
He's a nice guy. He's a good guy. So
What's about this protective brother thing going on? What's going on?
yeah, well,
All right. So if you fancy him too, that's all right. Is that what we're hearing?
yeah. Well,
I was emigrating to Australia to get away from me.
yeah.
Out in the chat, we've got so Claire says, my dad said exactly the same thing as Rich. Okay, you bring back a girl, it'll be all right. SK Craft says, I'm still waiting for my refund from my in-laws. It's been 30 years now. Colin Bell says, my sister had to introduce a boyfriend to her 7 brothers. Oh, wait a minute, that's kind of 7 brothers. Was it 7 brides for 7 brothers, Colin? Is that what was going on there? There wasn't a barn involved, was there? Handmaid says, I'm off now, guys. I have hospital in the morning. Good luck, Sarah. Hope everything's okay.
Yeah. Night, Sarah.
$34 watching, Rich. Hello? Hold on a moment. Sorry? I'm still on live. You want to come and say hello to everyone? Show everyone. Come and show everyone your crap Princess Leia. Come and show everyone your crap Princess Leia.
Hi, Mrs. Kirkwood.
Yeah, I'm talking to you. She does this thing. She looks a bit like a to put curls in her hair. She looks a bit like a crap Princess Leia when she does it. I mean, proper crap Princess Leia. I mean, the whole thing, kind of thing. If you ever see it, kind of thing, you'll think crap Princess Leia.
I'll just go through this very well. If I'm overly nice to Mrs. Kirkwood, then it kind of
you're up to no good.
I'll buy something.
Yeah, you know you're up to no good. Or I'm up to no good.
One of my legs.
That's that kind of thing, especially after the lathe kind of thing. Just wait till we come back from Makers.
Mrs. Kirkwood's scary.
Yeah, after Mega Central, I'll probably be in a full body cast.
She's one of the scary women that you like, you know. The way she looks at you, she's
oh man, I just got that both barrels right there when I said wait till I come back from Makers. I got that evil eye full on.
Come back from Makers. I think I'm going to immigrate with my sister.
Good lord, kind of thing. Yeah, she's actually hearing me, Claire. She's passing by the door as I'm saying this. If you're going to, there's no talking about her behind her back. It's got to be done very much in front of her. Wayne says, hi, Sinyi.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going to be getting sold at Makers, and I'm just
doesn't matter. Pegasus bandsaw is what I've got my eye on.
Yeah.
Was you there last year? Because
no, I couldn't make it last year because I was working. Couldn't get the time off and one thing or another. But so I'll be going this year. Hotel's booked. Got the tickets.
Yep.
Yep. So
nice.
Just deciding whether I'm driving down or getting the train down. I think if I get the train down, then I'm less likely to walk away with a table saw, lathe, and a bandsaw.
I've got. So I mean, I'm already lining up my whiskey orders in already, waiting for Wayne. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I'll have a drink of Wayne.
Yep.
I think that'll be very much the order of the night on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
No. I'd flick to Talisker on him. I'll get him something much more enjoyable. Talisker's enjoyable. It's my go-to whiskey, but I'll go for something else. If I'm in a Hilton bar there, we should be able to get a fair selection.
I have to get Wayne to bring some Hasback.
Get some what?
Hasback. Brandy.
Oh, okay. Was it like made by Remy's? Is it? Wayne, make essential. The way the hall isn't filling up, there won't be much to buy. Still early yet, Wayne. It was kind of like a couple of months before, but yeah, it's not busy. Not busy just now.
But have they got the same hall as they had last year, which is the bigger one?
So
It's even bigger.
Is it even bigger this
No,
year?
yeah, so we have got an episode on the podcast this Sunday dedicated to Dale.
Yeah.
So Dale's a spotlight, and then the week after that, we're doing an episode on the Maker Central, and we've got Nick on the show.
Cool.
Nicholas.
All your questions shall be answered.
Yeah.
I want to answer him why. I want to ask him how comes he didn't stick to his guns and go with proper legs for the back of that river table, because that was really awesome. Although he's pulled it off with the pencils all the way around, I think a proper set of back legs would have set that off something lovely. You know, it was
Yeah.
already nice. You know, I mean, it is
It
already
kinda-
nice. It's very impressive.
I've kind of thought about it, and it kind of gives the effect that it's kind of there's a hole in the table and it's dripped through.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean that's where he went with it. But I mean, I do like I mean, it's just a personal thing, kind of thing. But he did very well. Very impressed. That kind of for him came out of nowhere. Well, it's very him, but it came out of nowhere.
It's not his usual type of thing that he does.
Well, it's resonant pencils, which is really his thing, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the furniture-wise, he doesn't generally do furniture,
Yeah.
doesn't he? So
It's got a bigger workshop now, which helps. I would
Yeah.
assume
yeah,
better room to move. Helps.
yeah, yeah. It's amazing how a dedicated space can change and increase your level of creativity.
Nah. Most people just fill out with junk.
Yeah.
Pink, did you get that email? Just want to double check that it's sent through to you.
You don't have any STL editing software on your phone, do you?
I
No,
no.
you. I'm looking at Jamie. No,
No, I haven't.
just you should feel safe that it'll be the genuine article you're sending her.
I sent the
To go. No, not almost exactly the same, but with a picture of Cuz on the top of
Why me?
a little 3D Cuz.
3D printed version of me? Jesus.
You know, on the top of a Phallosaurus.
Yeah, because I'm not scary enough.
Yeah. Possible. I know. I'm not going to go there. Conversation for another time. Jen says, "I'm hoping to be able to afford to go to SWAT this year. Are you between me and Indy, Larry?" Project said, "I did. Thank you." Jay says, "That is a very nice, Rich." There's an impression I'm forming, Jay, that you sound a bit Irish. I may be wrong.
Jay is Australian, right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure I've seen his videos and he is Australian.
yeah, but it does have an Irish kind of twang when he says that. Billy says, "Would you love Larry? No room in our truck, Billy." Wayne says, "Great, Billy. Valerie and I loved them, especially as you filmed some of their favorites like Tim Yoda and Darrow." Yep, Tim Yoda's awesome, TM. Larry says Missouri. Indy is close, Larry. Larry says Missouri. Okay. Except he said it more forcefully the second time because it's a capital letter. Missouri? Indy is close, Larry. Missouri! That's kind of how I read that. It's about 500 miles from me, says Larry. It's a bit more than that from us.
Yeah.
God.
Okay, right then. Let's whip the centre of this one out and then we're done.
That's what she said.
Just can't help yourself.
It's got to be done.
Yeah.
Can't let that go by.
It's kind of obligatory at this point, isn't it?
It's almost getting there.
Yeah. JP's up to no good again.
He's trying to put a little, try to put a 3D printed head and a Phallosaurus.
Trying to message.
Claire, we are so. I think everybody who sees JP right now is thinking that he's up to no good.
some can assume that I'm right.
Would it be a safe assumption, though, JP? Do you think, given your past record?
That's right.
You know, I'd like, you know, you're in this particular topic, you are a bit like the reformed criminal. It's just been arrested and says it's a fair cop gov, and I'd like 83,000 other offences to be taken into consideration.
Yeah. It's the equivalent of getting Capone on tax evasion, isn't it?
What? Oh, yeah.
Al Capone tax evasion.
You know.
They didn't get him for any of the real crimes. They just got him for the taxes.
More like Ronnie Barker and Porridge, just kind of where my head went, but I take your point. Oh dear. Pink Prozac. I can't wait to print this out this weekend. I have a gay friend who needs one, whether he knows it or not.
I don't know whether I don't know whether that's appropriate to laugh at that or not.
Totally think it's appropriate to laugh at that.
I think so.
The expression on his face will be worth it.
Yeah, you got to record the expression.
Yeah.
It's got to be a meme in that. Pink. Got to be a meme in that. Hi, Andy.
Andy's back. Hi, Andy.
Hi, Andy.
You missed all the fun.
We're talking about
Pink
Prozac.
Oh!
Did that pop
Come off. That's 3 for 3.
Shit.
Woohoo!
Jamie, you weren't paying attention, mate. That's why I'm there.
JB's fault. He condemned it earlier on. No, I could see what's happened there.
Don't be blaming me. Not my fault you can't turn.
It is, because you condemned me. If you don't condemn me, then I'll be all right.
So far, I don't think there's been a live go by where we haven't seen something come off. Wow, that's been a fair old little nip there, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I think I was rushing it, to be honest. I think I was rushing it.
That's what she said.
But look at the size of those cracks in there.
Yep.
Definitely, that's what she said.
That's what he said. But yeah, I think a combination of those cracks and me trying to get it done a bit quicker, I think it blew up.
Fair old cracky McCrack thing, isn't it?
Blew up.
I mean, so let's just recap. So we had one come off and Nick, one come off and Steve, one come off and Jamie, one come off and you. I don't think we've had one come off and Wayne this week. Don't think Wayne's come off. I think it was dead on.
I think.
Oh, Dale says. Wayne says, Dale, shut up. I mean, that's how he gets written. Dale, shut up.
Condemned Wayne. Be careful, Wayne.
Stop talking.
I'm about previous 7 days, not going forward.
So there it is. Look, it literally. Oh, look at the bottom, so beautiful as well.
You could glue that back together.
Yeah,
Whack it in resin.
I reckon.
Where's the bit that chipped out? Where'd that go?
That piece? It's probably embedded itself in my fine particle up there.
Andy reckons it's a plate for bananas.
Banana splits.
I'll stick it in the resin. Good idea.
Kim says that's why God created more than one tree.
I don't know where that little piece.
Wayne of the Big Feety says Wayne's internet doesn't work long enough. Matt from GPS Agency's in. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt. I'm covered.
Telling you, it's like watching one of those dogs with flappy ears with his head out the window in a car when he's doing that. There are moments when he looks like a boiled yeti. I mean, he really does. Sexy lathe commercial right there, says Kim. Colin Bennett says he looks like a Viking doing that to Danny. Andy Hill says cousin it. Doug says, shop here, don't care. Wayne says, Rich, that's extremely dangerous. Matt GPS is, who has the Spurs hat on?
That would be me.
Jeff Christie is Rich doing an advert for it because he's worth it. Chris Walker is pissing himself laughing. Billy Bart, I don't ever have shop hair. I can completely sympathise with that view, Billy.
Yeah.
What are you saying you up to?
I don't get shop hair. This is the longest that I keep my hair generally.
I get shot with beard though, so
my beard isn't that long.
Right, what's extremely dangerous?
Blowing yourself off with the air gun.
Is it?
Yeah, there's a risk that you can get air into your inside of you, and it can cause a air pocket in your circulatory system, and that can cause you problems.
Oh, I didn't put it in my mouth.
Well,
it wouldn't go into your. It wouldn't. No. So yeah. So I mean, Wayne's just said things. So I mean, I can understand.
Oh yeah.
I can understand a bit if it's because it's damp compressed air. You know, so you're blowing damp air into your lungs. You know, if it's really damp, you could be giving yourself some grief. So you're carrying moisture into the depths of your lungs, or into your ears, or up your nose, or into your eyes. So I could understand why it would be dangerous.
That's the only way to get rid of all the dust out of my beard and hair.
I use a shop vac. I put the shop vac on and hoover it out.
Oh,
that's what I do. I do the shop vac. I hoover it out using the shop vac.
If you go from Youngdale to Oldale with the shop vac, you know how we.
No, I go from very old Dale to just old Dale. That's what I do with the shop vac. I go to mostly brown from totally grey.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that. I mean, that's what we're talking about. Gets all the dandruff in one go.
Oh, Fabio.
You fucking bastard.
Jamie, I'll send you up a couple of Arsenal ones up. Clash you up a bit, says Matt.
Hell
we
no.
knew he was up to no good.
So,
if they wrapped around some JPS resin, would you touch them, Jimmy? If they were wrapped around some nice pieces of JPS resin, would you touch them?
Sorry?
If the Arsenal tops were wrapped around some really, really nice GPS resin, would you touch them?
I would probably do something with the outside of the GPS off of it. bleach the GPS, burn the shirts.
Wait, aren't Arsenal lower down in the league than Spurs right now?
I'll tell you, here's a fun fact, right? In the stadium, right, the fire extinguishers are silver because there's no red inside the new stadium because it represents Arsenal.
Jesus.
I used to know a guy that supported Glasgow Rangers, and he had his socks were red, white, and blue. His pants were red, white, and blue. He would his belt had red, white, and blue on it. Actually, look, everything. And the piece de resistance, he would only buy Signal toothpaste. only ever buy Signal toothpaste. Wouldn't brush his teeth with anyone else because it was red, white, and blue.
Oh, someone's giving me a thumbs down. Thanks for that.
Oh,
Do you want me to give you a thumbs up instead?
Arsehole.
cool. Okie doke, sir.
Right, 2 hours. Look at that. Bang on. I mean, I would have finished that, but I'm not going to bother now. Well, I am. I'm going to put it in resin.
Boom.
And encapsulate it in resin. That's what I do. Yeah. It's gone
Harry,
quiet.
who?
It's gone quiet. No trophies here either, mate.
Get it glued together, says Steve. We agree with you, Steve.
Problem is, I can't find that little piece there.
You could always fill that with resin, though, couldn't you?
Yeah, could do. Yeah, it's quite a big piece, though. Surely, I mean, I might have a good look around for it tomorrow when it.
Well, if you feel something digging into in your bed tonight, I mean, it's obviously it's get trapped in your beard.
That's usually Cheryl's elbows.
Night, Claire.
I've got a
See you
piece.
later, Claire.
Night, Claire.
I've got a piece of it there.
Ah, so maybe multiple pieces. SK saying fill it with milliput.
Yep, there it is. There it is. Look, that fits just
One
in there.
piece.
No, he's
One
found
piece
it.
of it.
Well, that's a shout from Steve at SK Crafts to use milliput.
Look,
Or just a thought. What you could do is carefully shape a piece of GPS.
oh, what an idea! If I cut that.
Or since you have lots of it, you could just chuck it in a wood burner and do it again.
or cut little bricks out of GPS and make it like a little wall.
Could do, yeah.
Or you can make a little guy you hang over the front of it, kind of thing, like a Richard was here, kind of thing. Or you can throw it in the wood burner. Or you can just throw it in the wood burner and make another bit. Go on.
I'm waiting for Dale to tell you to paint it white in a minute.
I've already done that. You weren't listening. You're too busy looking at your phone.
You know what? I think I'll chuck it in some resin and make a bowl out of it.
Think how cold you are. Think how warm it would make you. And you've got spare bits of the wood. Just make another one.
That's blasphemy, Dale.
It might be, but I'm learning from Wayne, kind of thing. It's the kind of thing Wayne would do. But if assuming one come off like that, he'd go, "Oh, that's what." But it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Put it in the fire. You've got more though, right? You've got more though, right?
Do you really want to see that bird? I don't
How
care.
much have you got?
Um,
Lots.
I'm running out of it. I mean, I've got loads of bits of it. Well,
So Wayne's with me on this one. Burn it. Get more.
I used to like Wayne.
Friendship necklace, he says. Kim says, make it a friendship necklace with a zipper.
What, like one of those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a Volkswagen sign on a chain, isn't it?
Yeah, could do that.
What about see if you can still carve out the inside of it and then split it into one?
What a great idea! Look at that. I wonder what I could do with that.
Make a cookie monster? Or throw it in the fire.
Jaffa cake stack.
There's at least 3 pen blanks in that because it's so thick.
That's what we're talking about. Turn any pen blanks in.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, as a bowl, it's gone. It's gone. It's never going to be a bowl again.
You know,
You could always turn it into a glasses case.
Sorry.
Turn it into a glasses case if you put the two halves together.
Yeah.
Could do.
Oh well, it'll probably. I might even start my own wall of shelf of shame.
I've got one in my workshop. I've got the Invictus shelf of all the catastrophes.
I thought that's what the new workshop was for, Rich.
number one there.
You could buy yourself a new shed for that, Rich.
Up there, look. Yeah. Now I'm hoping to get the mini digger in as soon as it dries up to get that pad flattened at the top of the garden.
Have you not heard of a shovel?
What, with my back? It's only £100 for a weekend. And if you get it on a bank holiday,
Bargain.
you get it for
You get
free.
the extra day. Yeah.
That's not bad.
And you don't even have to put fuel in, they fill it.
We should get two of them. We can have a race down the street.
Oh, nice.
Oh dear, JP.
A woman I worked with was going out for lunch once and walked past the mobility scooter shop, and the reps from there were racing the mobility scooter and ran her over, and she ended up with a broken leg.
I run my bike over with Cheryl's scooter. I got my finger trapped in the accelerator toggle switch while Cheryl
Trapped
on it. Yeah, Cheryl's still sitting on the scooter. My mate's in front of her, and I've run him over because I got my finger wedged.
Ow, 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 ow.
Oh, yeah.
You ask her, she'll tell you all about it. It might have happened more than once as well.
Are you going to that art thing at Yandos in July?
Yes, I think I might do. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's craft.
It's a craft fair they're doing down at the thing, yeah. That looked pretty good.
Yeah, well, I think me and Jack will go. So.
Cool.
Turn Cheryl's scooter into a digger.
I don't think she'd be happy with that. I'm telling
Paint it yellow and make it, yeah, but right in the back of it, not so much JCB, but more like CB. Unless she's got a middle name.
she's got JP stickers on it.
Oh.
Yeah, so it would be a JCB.
So how do
Boom.
I
Boom.
take her off?
He's here all week. Tell your friends.
Yes, it's off.
Night, Wayne.
Good night, Wayne. Thanks
See you later,
for
Wayne.
Oh, right. So, where are we? Pop some GPS bits and hang on. Let's just do it this way. Right. Pop some GPS bits to make it look like it's stitched together. Yeah, actually.
Or burn it.
Or I could
Burn it.
glue it and then.
What about just scorch it a little?
If I had a shop stove like you've got,
Go
that would have
between.
been in the fire by now. I guarantee you. I looked at that and went, arse.
That's the difference. I'm a tree hugger.
Yeah, I mean, I'm perfectly happy I've been carbon neutral because I'm burning a tree and some other tree will swallow it up.
Jeff's headed off for the night. Night, Jeff.
Night, Jeff.
Take it easy, Jeff. See you later, Colin.
Bye bye.
Night, Colin.
What was I saying then? I forgot what I was saying.
Dale was just telling us about his pyromanias.
No. It's environmentally friendly. It's completely carbon neutral. It's a tree you burned. As long as you plant another one, it's all splendid.
Yeah.
We've planted what? 9 trees in the garden in total?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
How
9
many
trees.
Out, though?
Sorry?
How many have you taken out?
Oh, one. We took one out in a hedge.
Wow.
One out in a hedge.
What's JP laughing at?
10, he says. Steve, if I could have a wood burner in my place, I would definitely have burnt a number of them.
I would have
A
burnt
number of them.
loads of stuff. I
Yeah.
think I'm addicted to fire.
I've burned loads.
The way you said that, JP, was quite worried. I would have burned loads of stuff. I'm quite addicted to fire.
So my auntie and uncle have obviously got the wildlife park, and when they were in the middle of changing all of their enclosures to like brand new ones, not when they first took it over, but a few years after they took it over, they were going for procedures into upgrading and all that sort of stuff. They were taking down all the old enclosures, which were all made out of old wood, and they were rotting and all that sort of stuff. And some of them had brick bases and all this sort of stuff. and replacing all brand new treated wood and all this sort of stuff. Obviously, it's not going to hurt the animals, 'cause otherwise it wouldn't be a sanctuary if it did that. But they had all this. I think I've got a picture of it somewhere, and this massive pile of wood. I mean, yeah, a lot of it could have been reused easily. I mean, there were pallets stacked so high you couldn't even imagine, as well. And they said to me, right, just start off with a little fire so it doesn't get too big. And I was like, yeah, all right. And I just went, just lit the lot. And this fire was like, I had to, if I was to take a full picture of it, I had to put my phone in panoramic mode. I couldn't get a full wide picture like that unless I stood right the way back.
Kind of Colin Firth and the pallet Wall of Death kind of fire, was it?
Yeah, I'm talking. It was massive. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
He's still looking for those bits.
I've got all these resin shavings here. Look, loads of them. I'm just. My next video is going to be a. It's not going to be the scroll saw. It's going to be a vase, but with a difference that I've not seen anyone do yet. So there's eggs involved as well, just as a little
eggies,
real chucky eggs.
Eggies,
but,
chucky eggs.
Yes, chucky chucks.
I thought you were talking about the old game for a second there. That's why I had to ask you, Chucky Egg, what, like Little Farmer? Cracking,
Right.
says Steve K.
Should we wrap it up, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm cold. I need to go in and get warm.
Cold and miserable and yes. All right, in that case.
Right then. Thanks for coming, everyone. And there's only 18 people left anyway, so most people have gone now.
Go to bed, you crazy people.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Thanks for coming in, and hopefully we'll see you next week with a bit of luck. Bye.
Night.
Take it easy, everybody.
Bye.
JP, wiggy.
See you later.
Don't leave us hanging. He's leaving us hanging. Don't leave us
See you later.
There we are. Okay. Righto. Feel better now. Night, dog.
Night. Good night.
Night, everyone.
Oh.